experience is worldly. There's many of us who have been blessed to experience and witness the hidden mysteries and the truth of the hidden realms. Through my experience with warfare, I was able to receive revelations about the spiritual principalities that we fight on a daily basis. And through my experiences and my testimony, I'm here to shed light on these things. I'm here to help you receive deliverance. This is Deliverance Through Knowledge. Disclaimer to some viewers. I know many of you guys are not interested in spiritual warfare conversations or conversations pertaining to black magic. Therefore, if you know that this is a video that will be speaking on these topics based on the thumbnail and based on the title, you do not need to be here if you are very uncomfortable with this subject of matter. Welcome to Deliverance Through Knowledge. So today we're going to be discussing the top signs that black magic is being done to you, things that you're going to experience, symptoms, etc. Here's the thing. There are so many signs, and if I was to list every single sign, trust me, we can go all day. But these signs are like the most important signs, whether you're going to see it physically or whether you're going to feel it physically. And this may even be signs that you may see on other people as well, okay? So first we're going to start off with, why do people do black magic spells? So I'm going to say this firstly. We're not going to understand the minds of evil people because this happens a lot to people. This happens in many cultures, many countries. Many people say that it happens even here, okay? And it also happens in my country. This can happen anywhere. And what I want to mention is that there's many cultures that have their own differentiation of black magic, okay? Black magic, it's actually the category. However, every culture has their own interpretation of black magic. Some cultures, like Africa or the Caribbean, will use voodoo. And then there's some cultures that may, practice Santeria. And they may say that it's a good religion, but there's actually black magic that is actually done in that specific religion as well. And places like India, they call it black magic. They don't call it voodoo or anything like that. But in Jamaica, they actually call it obia. A lot of the practices in these cultures, they usually do the same things. However, it's just named differently. So I'm actually going to name a list of the types of things that they do in black magic. And when I describe this list and when I describe what they actually do, you guys may actually end up having some sort of revelations when you have experienced these things, and you're going to know exactly what they were doing to you and why you experienced some of these symptoms, okay? The first one is curse, which is hexing or jinxing. A spell or ritual meant to bring bad luck, illness, misfortune to a person or place. Often performed using personal belongings, photographs, or symbolic representations. Doesn't that sound familiar? See, many of us, we have had this done to us. And that is why I tell you guys all the time, people don't need your actual belongings to do these types of things. Do they try to get your belongings? Absolutely, but it's not needed, right? All they need is your photo or, again, a representation of you, symbolic representation. That can even be like your name, okay? However, the Bible says that a curse without cause will not stand. But when you are sensitive in the spirit, you will know that something is being done, okay? Number 2, necromancy. This is spirit communication and control. This involves summoning or communicating with the dead, used for divination, seeking hidden knowledge, or controlling spirits to perform tasks. Usually when they use this type of tactic, it's when they do use the graveyard ritual, okay? The next one, number 3, is blood magic and sacrificial rituals. This is when they use blood, animal blood or human blood, in rituals to enhance their potency of spells, associated with ancient and occult traditions that believe blood carries powerful energy. Number 4, demonic invocation and pact making. This involves summoning demons or malevolent entities for power, knowledge, or revenge. Some practitioners may form pacts, agreements with dark entities for personal gain, okay? Most of the times when people are trying to get revenge on you, this is the type of tactic that they use, or this is what the spell practitioner they are paying chooses to use, okay? However, this stuff is not free, and that's what a lot of these people who are even, funding it don't realize is their hands are just as dirty as the practitioner that is doing this, because there has to be some sort of gain for the kingdom of darkness for these things to actually be done for them, right? So most of the times your enemies are literally selling their souls just to hurt you, or they're literally selling their souls to receive some sort of gain in their life by coming up against you, okay? I do want to remind you though that listen, a child of God cannot be touched, okay? Will you know when something's being done? Absolutely, because God is going to alert you. However, a child of God will not be touched, okay? Number 5, love binding and manipulation spells. This aims to force or control someone's romantic life or sexual feelings. And this can also lead to obsession, mental instability, or relationship destruction. Okay. And most of the times, can I tell you guys a secret? It's not even funny. It's just one of those things that I had to chuckle because I'm just like, whoa. A lot of the people that do spells to try to hurt us as children of God, we are covered. So a lot of the times when people do these types of spells, it backfires and it hits them back, right? And we don't have to pray send back to sender. It just automatically hits them back because we are covered. And when they do this type of spell, what it does is it causes them to be obsessed. It causes them to have mental instability, and it causes them to have destruction upon their own life. See, if you read the list here, this motive is for them to try to cause these effects on our life. But if you notice, the obsession is actually with them. The mental instability is actually with them because they're the ones that are funding this and they're the ones that are actually doing this. So most of the times you'll even notice that if somebody's obsessed with you or somebody is literally going out of their way to sabotage you and they're not stopping, that is an indication that they have mental instability. And that is also an indication that they're obsessed, which means that the love binding or manipulation spells has actually hit them back. Okay. So number 6 is voodoo, hoodoo, and dark practices. Some forms of voodoo and hoodoo involve using dolls, powers, and charms to cause harm or exert influence. Okay. These practices may include spiritual attacks or summoning spirits for revenge. Okay. The next one is number 7, astral projection for harm. Okay. And this is when people come out of their body and they try to spy on you and then they attack you, or they'll try to manipulate a lot of us in the spirit. And this involves energy draining, nightmares, and also inducing fear. And this is why most of the times when we are going through spiritual warfare, this is exactly why we end up having nightmares and horrible dreams, is because this is what they're actually doing to manipulate our dreams. And that's why I tell you guys all the time, yes, dreams can definitely be manipulated. Dreams can also, be affected. Not all dreams are dreams from God, okay? The gift of dreaming itself is from God. That is a gift from God. But the enemy can definitely do things to manipulate what type of dream you have and to do things to manipulate how your dreams can affect you, okay? This is why Job complained to God and said he was having nightmares. Remember, Job had no idea when he complained to God that Satan and God came into some sort of agreement and there was a testing on Job's life. He had no idea this was happening. So the whole time when Satan was doing all this to him, he thought it was God that was tormenting him with these dreams, but it was not God tormenting him with these dreams. It was actually Satan that was tormenting him with these dreams, okay? So I want to remind you guys about that. Number 8 is mirror and shadow magic. This is what they do to manipulate reflections and shadows of the unseen realms, divination attacks. So they use mirrors to try to send you false visions and things in the spirit. So that's why you'll notice that some seers, they're very gifted, but you'll notice that sometimes they may get something wrong or they may see something in the spirit that's not actually accurate, and they masquerade themselves as someone that you love or someone that you trust in order to frame them. And they usually do this with their mirror magic, okay? It's called shadow magic as well, where they can also disguise themselves in the spirit as someone that, like I said, you may trust or someone you don't like. And then when you wake up, you think that that encounter you had with that person in the spirit was actually them, but it wasn't really them, okay? So some believe that mirrors can be used as portals for spirits, and that is actually correct, okay? That's why in the movie Snow White, you notice that the queen is looking in the mirror and she's asking the mirror, like, who's the fairest of them all, right? So she's definitely communicating within that portal, okay? Number 9 is elemental dark magic, manipulation of fire, water, air, and destructive purposes. Examples include causing natural disasters or evoking storms. All right. Number 10 is symbolic sigil based dark magic, uses runes, sigils, or symbols to evoke supernatural forces, often associated with secret societies or occult traditions.
Point of the matter is the people that are doing this, they have an evil heart and they have an evil mind, okay? And it always stems from jealousy, envy, control, selfishness, greed. These are the main reasonings why people do this. And it's out of desperation to try to ruin someone's life, reputation, to try to mess with someone's success. So most people that stoop to black magic, it is literally out of desperation because everything they tried to do in the physical did not work. So this is like the next step of tactics that they do to get their way. And a lot of the times as well, a lot of people that do this stuff, they're very sneaky and they know that there's, consequences for their actions if they do something physically to the people they're trying to affect with black magic. So what they do is they go behind the scenes and use black magic because one, it's hidden. No one's gonna know, that it's really being done unless someone speaks up about it. But at the same time as well, it's very hard to prove these types of things.
Proving that someone did black magic to you is not easy, okay? It is not easy. You would have to have either some really good physical evidence or you would literally have to catch them in the act, okay? Another way of how you can prove that they have done this to you is if you can find some sort of like wire statements, transfers of money, etc. And that is actually how I found out that a person in my family was actually doing black magic to me. Not only did I find out from God, who has given me repetitive dreams and visions throughout the years, and I always see her face in my vision when something is being done to me, and I also see who she is paying, and I also am able to see what they're doing. So God will give me specific details like that for me to know how she's doing it and if something is actually being done to me, okay? However, when it comes to the physical law, it's really hard to prove it. It's really hard to take someone to court for this unless like you're in countries like South Asia, Middle East, the Caribbean, India, places like that, Africa, where black magic is very common and it's actually illegal and it actually has serious consequences for these types of crimes, okay?
Things. And this is why a lot of evil people, they go this route because they feel like going this way, it protects them and it prevents them from getting caught and doing their wickedness, right? But there are ways to be caught with doing this. But there's ways to be caught and there's people that are actually caught doing this to me and my children. So yes, there are ways to be caught, okay? But again, the main people that do this stuff, selfish, greed, jealousy, envy, control. There's a bunch of reasons why people do this, but the main reasoning why they do this is mainly control, revenge, getting some sort of gratification, and satisfaction in seeing someone else suffer, seeing someone else go through misfortune, and that is the main reasons why they do it. One of the main things I want you guys to understand about black magic is you don't have to do anything for someone to choose to do this to you. Yes, I know a lot of people, when they hear about this stuff, they say, what did you do for the person to do this? Why would they get revenge on you? Why would they try to ruin your reputation or ruin your life? But what people don't understand is you don't actually have to do anything for someone to go out of their way to do black magic on you, okay? People will do black magic, again, for their own selfish purposes, for their own greed, their own selfish needs. People just don't want to see other people happy. This has been happening for centuries. We hear about people who are extremely successful and as soon as they achieve something in life, they get sick. Or there's a lot of misfortune and it happens out of nowhere, right? So people can literally do this because of your success. They can do it because of the things that are going to come into your life later on. Like, again, you don't have to do anything for someone to do evil. It's like someone abusing you, and it's like it's no different from like someone being in a domestic violence situation and someone beating on them for no reason, and then people say to the victim, what did you do for your abuser to abuse you? Like, that is that is absurd. Like, how could you sit there and tell someone what did they do for someone to do black magic on them? Like, we understand that there's people that get revenge, and some people, yes, they do bad stuff to people and people go after them for revenge. But you don't have to do anything for anyone to do this to you, okay? If you're a good person and you have a good heart, people will target you through black magic because they know that with the type of personality you have, with the type of heart you have, God is going to bless you. Especially people that look into your life and they know that your future is going to be promising and they know that there's amazing things in store for you. They will do this to try to prevent you from achieving these things, from getting there. I always find it very strange and very messed up how people can do this stuff to you, and then when there's consequences for their actions, they still want to blame you for them getting in trouble. Again, you don't have to do anything for anyone to do this to you, right? And they will go out of their way and bother someone who isn't doing anything to them, bothering someone who's just living their life. But as soon as they get in trouble, they want to get even more mad at you. But everything that they're doing, it's their cause. They started it. They kept it going. And now that there's consequences, they're even more mad. So it's almost like these people are very narcissistic. They don't want to take any type of accountability. They don't want to admit to that they have a problem. They don't want to admit that they were wrong. They will literally go out of their way. They will bother you, try to mess with your life, you not doing anything to them. And then when there's consequences, they want to blame you for them getting in trouble for their own actions. This is what I mean when I say, like, you don't have to do anything for these people to target you. These are narcissistic people that we are dealing with. Anything pertaining to black magic, anyone that has to pay a spiritualist to do evil on someone, that is a narcissistic person, okay? Because no level of your heart should stoop to that way. No amount of level or no amount of inch or ounce in your heart should even want to do something like that. You see what I'm saying? There's people out there who don't have good hearts, who are very stubborn and very just sometimes unkind, but they will never do these types of things. You see what I'm saying? And then there's those out there who are just extremely evil, right? We are not in control of what people choose to do. And there's people that will stoop to the lowest of the low just to get what they want. It doesn't matter how hard your life is. It doesn't matter how hard you had to work to get where you are. It does not matter how much tears you cried. It doesn't matter how much obstacles you're fighting. If someone sees that you have potential and that you're going to jump over all these hurdles in life, and they see that you're going to go far in life, they will try to stoop to this level to do this to you. And I know it's hard to hear this because most of you guys who are battling this, you're wondering why people would see you go through so much and who see you struggle, why they would even think about doing these things to you, knowing your story, knowing your testimony, knowing what you had to endure. But again, these are greedy people. These are people that don't care about nobody but themselves. And this is why they choose to do it. Whenever black magic is involved, chances are, yes, even if strangers do this to you, let's just say you're a public figure and strangers do this to you, it won't last and it won't have a really huge effect on you. However, the devil likes to use those who are closest to you. He will use your friend, he will use your mom, he will use your dad, he will use your sister, he will use your colleagues, he will use those who are closest to you because that is how, you know, there'll be more effect of it.
I want to educate you guys on generational curses and whenever there is some sort of door that is opened in the bloodline. Okay, listen, the enemy tries to find legal rights to attack God's people. All right, and we have to understand that when black magic is done in our bloodline and it's done from somebody who is connected to us through blood, that is who the devil's going to use to open that door as a legal entryway to attack. However, we are covered. Yes, we are definitely covered. But this is why God will always instruct us that we will have to walk away from even our family in some cases because of this. Now, if somebody in your blood opened a door and has paid people to attack you or has done some sort of black magic towards you, okay, what that did, it's almost like it created a magnet, okay? That created a magnet. That is basically the root of the black magic, all right? any type of black magic that is done outside of your bloodline, whether it be a stranger, someone at work, or a friend, it's not going to be as effective as it would be if it was somebody in your blood. And when a door is open from somebody in your blood, that is like giving permission to everybody else outside your blood, permission to affect you or afflict you in some type of way. Because the strongest form of black magic is when it's done from your own blood, right? So it's like a magnet. So now that that's done, that's the root of the issue. That magnet will attract other forms of black magic. So if nobody in your blood opens that door to attack you, strangers and work people or friends, it's not going to be as effective. But when somebody in your blood opens the door for black magic to be done on you, now it's a magnet that attracts every other form of black magic that is outside the bloodline. Okay, so once you detach yourself from that bloodline, and once you come out of agreement with anything connected to your bloodline, and once you come out of agreement with whoever has done this to you by detaching yourself from them, removing yourself from them, cutting contact with them, rebuking, denouncing, and canceling them, and also being specific in your prayers by naming the things that you know they have done to you. And again, this is why in the beginning of this video, I mentioned the different forms of black magic, but I also mentioned a list of the types of black magic that is done. And the reason for this is when you go through that list and you read that list and you're like, wow, this is what I'm experiencing, then you know exactly how to be precise in your prayers. Then you know exactly what to rebuke and what to cancel. For instance, let's just say that on the list, right? Let's just say that you have been, experiencing the symptoms from when somebody is using demonic, inculcation towards you, or they have made a pact with a demon. And one of the things that they're practicing is trying to get revenge and power over you. Okay. Now you know exactly what to pray against, because on that list, you would say, okay, number 4 on that list is demonic inculcation and the pact making. Okay, so now I can specifically rebuke this specific tactic that they're doing, but I can also now rebuke the person that is doing it. So now that you're more precise in your rebuking, that is a way how to come out of agreement with that person. And that is a way of how to block, stop, bind, renounce, denounce, rebuke, cancel, void, whatever it is that they're doing. Okay. Now, when you have completely detached yourself from the people in your blood that are doing this to you, right? That magnet has been destroyed. Remember, the magnet is the root of the issue. That magnet, that door that is open, is what is attracting more black magic your way because of the main entryway. Now that you've canceled all that and removed yourself, anything external from your bloodline, the afflictions won't be as effective.
Black magic is not as strong when it is done by someone who is at a distance from you. When it's someone that is close to you, that means they have more access to your belongings, your hair, your cup that you drank from, which has your saliva on it, like things that they need to send to the spell practitioner, or things that they need to do it themselves if they're the ones doing it, right? But in other words, yes, the devil will use those who are closest to you, because you have to understand that that is what is most painful. It's not going to be painful receiving betrayal from a stranger versus betrayal from your own sister, or betrayal from your own brother, or your own partner, or your own father or mother. Like, betrayal from the people that are closest to you hurts the most. And that is what will ultimately cause there to be some emotional damage and emotional instability in your life. And that's what the enemy wants. He wants not only to hurt you and block you and linger you, keep you stagnant from moving forward, but he wants there to be emotional distress attached to that. Therefore, it's very hard for you to focus, and it's going to be hard for you to build yourself back together, get back on your feet, be strong, when a lot of emotional torment is involved, right? And heartbreak is not a good thing, right? Heartbreak is very hard to sometimes, you know, recover from, right? And that's why the enemy will use those closest to you, because the betrayal is not going to feel like any other, and it's going to hurt the most when it's someone closest to you. And again, yes, the enemy wants there to be emotional damage. Therefore, you don't have the courage to get back on your feet. However, most of you guys do have the courage to get back on your feet. If you have God and you are faithful to God and you are praying and you are fasting and you are obedient, trust me, you'll get back on your feet. But yes, the betrayal from those closest to you will definitely hurt. You will go through a little bit of turmoil. You'll go through a little bit of heartache, and you may need some time to recover, but you'll ultimately recover. You have to understand that when you are a child of God, the devil is after God. The devil has it out for God. He's always had it out for God from since he's been casted out of heaven, right? So especially if you're a child of God and you are chosen of God or called by God, the devil will target you most with black magic, and he will use those to target you the most, because you have to understand that it's mainly to block you from achieving the purpose, the goal, and getting to the destination where God needs to take you, okay? It's the motives of the devil versus those who do this to you. You have to understand that the devil's motive is to affect God, okay? Which he can't, but the devil knows God loves you, right? So the devil's motive is to affect God. The people that do the black magic to you, their motives may be completely different from the devil's motives, right? Their motive for letting the devil use them will be selfish, greed, envy, not wanting to see you move forward in life, versus like the devil's motive is just to block you from achieving anything for God. So these people that are doing this, they will allow themselves to be used by the enemy. They won't care as long as they get what they want. So you have to understand that the motive for the devil attacking you is more spiritual, versus the motive for the people that he is using to attack you, their motive is more physical. Let me give you an example of this. The enemy will attack you because he knows that the purpose that you're going to fulfill for God is spiritual. It's something that's going to help God's kingdom. Versus those who he is using to attack you, their motive for attacking you is more physical. As in, yes, the attacks still come from the spirit, as in, because we don't battle against flesh and blood, but spiritual principalities. So yes, everything is spiritual, but I'm talking about the awareness of the attackers and the awareness of the devil. The devil's awareness is to attack you because of the spiritual and what you're going to do for God, versus the enemies, their awareness to attack you is because of what they see you have in the physical, or what they see you're going to have in the physical. They're focused on the material gain. They're focused on the prosperity. They're focused on how good your life looks on the external and what's to come for you, versus, the enemy. He's focused more on the long haul, the spiritual, the effects it's going to have for God's kingdom, you working for God and you being obedient, right? So that's the difference. You have to understand that success will trigger anybody with an unclean heart. Anyone with an unclean heart, it will trigger them. If somebody sees you happy and they don't see you stressed, they don't see you crying, they don't see you suffering, but they see you happy, they see you laughing, they see you dancing, they just see you being joyful, that will trigger people. And again, it doesn't matter if you don't have anything right now. If you're being attacked by black magic, it is because of what you're going to have. It's because they know that you're going to have what you don't have now. They know you're going to have more, and they're trying to prevent you from receiving more. That is their goal. That is their tactic. Okay. So it doesn't matter for many of you guys saying, well, I don't have anything right now. There's nothing I have that's successful right now. They know you're going to have something. They're looking into you. The devil does not waste his time to attack those who aren't going to be prosperous. What's the point of that? What's the point of that, right? That's a waste of time. He attacks those who he's threatened by. He uses people to attack those who they're threatened by and who he is threatened by. Do you get what I'm saying? So best believe that if you are under attack, or you've been under attack, or they have attacked you with black magic, it's because there's something about your future that is threatening the devil and that is threatening your enemies. So again, going back to why the devil uses those that are close to you, okay? You see that if the enemy uses a stranger to attack you, that stranger may not be as triggered about you like someone who grew up with you, like someone who knows your personality, like someone who knows things about you personally. And here's why. Notice that there's people online, there's hundreds and thousands of people online that are successful, right? And you'll notice that the same people that are attacking you, they see these people who are successful, but they don't attack these people, but they come after you. And you'll notice that the ones that come after you, they're the closest ones to you. But you're saying to yourself, why aren't they going after this person or that person or that person who's doing the same thing as me? Why are they coming up after me? Because they know you, because they grew up with you, because you are their family, or you are their friend, or you are a colleague that they've known for a long time. You see, a lot of times people don't compare their life with strangers as often as they do to their family members, friends, colleagues, etc. And the reason being is because originally, mentally, they thought you guys were either on the same level, same page, or they thought you were below them. They thought you were beneath them, right? So when they see you doing something that is a little bit more greater than them, or they see you moving further than them, then they'll start to compare themselves to you, and it will trigger them a lot more seeing you successful than it will trigger them to see a stranger, because they personally know you. And because they personally know you, they see that as a reflection of their own life. Should they? No, they shouldn't. They should be proud of you. They should congratulate you, and they should see you as motivation. And before you know it, if you guys are close, hey, you may even help them, right? But again, they don't think like that. They see you as a competition. They see you as they want you to be beneath them. And because, again, they know you personally on that level versus a stranger, it will affect them more and trigger them more to see you establish things than it would a stranger. A perfect example of this is when Jesus was performing miracles, okay? When he performed miracles and he helped so many strangers, you notice that there was not a lot of hate from the people that he was helping. Yes, there was hate from the Pharisees, and some of these Pharisees were like strangers to Jesus. So yes, some of them were, but there was a lot of hate from the Pharisees. But Jesus actually received the more hate from his own hometown. And it bothered people that knew him personally, like as in they may not have known everything about him personally, but they know of him, like his life and how he grew up, and his father being a carpenter and all this type of stuff. So they knew of these things. So because they felt like they knew him, they felt there's no way that he could be the Son of God. There's no way that he can be doing all these performing miracles, that he had to be some sort of fraud, or there had to be some sort of demon that is, controlling him and getting him to do these things. They had to look for every possible reason to discredit the fact that he's actually the Son of God, to discredit the fact that he's actually helping people. That's how much they didn't want to believe his gifts. That's how much they didn't want to believe his miracles. That's how much hate they had in them, right? Jesus received so much hate from his own hometown that he had to leave. He couldn't stay there and perform miracles. He had to leave, versus everywhere else he went, yes, there was haters, but he was still able to perform some miracles. You see what I'm saying? So like I said before, strangers, they may be triggered by you, but it won't be so bad to where you have to get up and leave. Those who are close to you will be triggered by you so much, they will do everything in their power to block you, even if it means kill you. And it will trigger them so much, you're not able to stay where you grew up. You're not able to stay around the people that you know because of this. This is why most people, when they get to a certain stage of their life and they achieve certain things, this is why they leave their hometown. This is why they move away from their family, their friends, the people that know them, because they know that their elevation will trigger them more than it will trigger complete strangers. Okay. I watched a documentary yesterday. I was laying down watching this documentary, and this is about a woman from Iraq. She was from a very controlling family, and she ended up leaving her family, moving to Turkey, and she started her whole life over. She had a whole fiance and everything, and her family did not like this. The mother tricked her to come back to her hometown. This whole time she stayed away from her hometown. She no longer wanted to go back to her hometown because it was dangerous, right? So she stayed away from her hometown for a very long time. Her mother contacted her and made it seem like it was safe for her to come back to her hometown. And because she really trusted her mom, she ended up going back to her hometown. And when she went back there and she went into this home, all her family members were there to confront her. her dad ended up strangling her and killing her, and her dad called it an honor killing, okay? An honor killing, because her dad was saying basically that her success and her living a life outside of what they're used to is embarrassing to them. And he tried to make it seem like it's because she was going up against the rules of their culture, but that's not true, because when she was living in Turkey, she had a fiance like that. She has someone that loves her, that wants to marry her. She's doing amazing things. She's successful. She's influencing people, encouraging people. What it was that was triggering them was her success. It was the fact that she got away from the lifestyle that she was used to. She's achieving more and everything. So her success triggered the family, and then they did an honor killing, okay? Many of you guys, that's what most of your families are trying to do to you. The difference is between your families and this woman's family is they can publicly talk about an honor killing because it's something that's known in their culture, versus you guys, your families and your cultures and stuff, they may not talk about honor killings. That is illegal. That is a crime, right? So what they will do is do the black magic, and they will try to sell your soul. They will use you as a sacrifice in order for them to try to steal your destiny, switch your destinies over to them, because they think there's some type of way that can be done. So they will try to do this stuff to you. So this is another form of black magic, destiny transfers, which I'll talk about in a whole nother video. I've already recorded it, so I'll post that for you guys as well, okay? I also want to remind you guys that some people, like, you have to remember that not everyone that has gifts is clean in the heart. There's some people that will have gifts, whether it be your family or friends, they will have gifts and they will dream. They will dream of certain success. They will dream of your future. They'll dream of things pertaining to your life. And then, because they may not have the full details as to what's to come for you, they will go to a psychic, or they'll go to someone who also has gifts, and they will try to bring the information that they have, the little bit of information that they have from the dreams, and they will try to get it interpreted in order to see what the full revelation is about your life. Yeah, so you have to remember that some people, they don't start off like evil, or they may have an unclean heart, unclean spirit, but the thing about it is they may not hate you or dislike you until they actually have that dream about you, or until they see something about your life. And then what will happen is if they go to someone who is spiritually gifted, or they go to someone who can interpret these things for them, and they get the full revelation, and they find out like, whoa, this person I grew up with is going to be the prime minister. This person I grew up with is going to be like a candidate, or this person I grew up with is going to have a successful business. Like similar to Joseph. You guys remember how Joseph's brothers tried to betray him when Joseph had that dream about where he's going to be? Same concept. And what will happen is they will start investigating your life. The investigating of your life will reveal things to them they did not know. And it will kind of like stir up so much hatred in them and anger in them. It also turns into an obsession. And then them knowing that, wow, this is something that God has in store for them. This is where they're going to be. They're going to try to do whatever they can to plot and to destroy where you're supposed to be in life. And there becomes that obsession of trying to stop you from getting there. And then it just continues and continues and continues. And then oftentimes they will start looking for a black magic practitioner to block you. And when that doesn't work, they'll go to another one, then they'll go to another one. Then there'll be like so much attempts, it becomes an obsession, and they have a hard time letting go. So I want you to understand that black magic and spells does not last. It actually breaks off of you the instant it comes near you. And the reason being is because if you're innocent, it won't touch you. However, there will be effects like tiredness, drainage, headaches. And this usually happens because this is a way for you to know that something is being done, right? So usually when these people pay these practitioners have to keep renewing the spells every month or every week or every 2 weeks in order to try to keep there to be a little bit of effect, because they know it's not going to last, right? If the spell or the curses were effective, it would stay. They wouldn't have to keep going back and paying people. If you're dealing with someone who is consistently paying people over and over and over again, and they got to pay every month, every week, every 2 weeks, it means that what they're doing is not working, and they have to keep paying in order for there to be a little bit of effect. That's the only way, because they know it's not going to stay because of your innocence. Some of you guys may be wondering, so why do the spell practitioners keep doing it if they know that it's not going to work? Money. These spell practitioners will lie to the family members or the friends or the colleagues who are paying them and make it seem like, oh, every time you pay me, I can make it stronger. Every time you pay me, I can keep it going, etc., etc. What they're not really telling these people is that it's not working because you're a good person, because you're covered, because you did nothing to deserve it. So it's not going to work. So what they're not telling these people is that when they get paid, they have to keep renewing it, right? Because it doesn't stay. So instead, they lie and tell these people that they're going to make it stronger or it's going to get better or et cetera, right? And because these people that are paying them, they're already far gone mentally, they're already obsessed with your life, they're already obsessed with trying to block you, they're not going to think twice about paying the money to try to destroy you or to try to make it stronger. They're not going to think twice about these lies. They're just going to continue thinking that whatever they're hearing is the truth, and they're going to continue to pay. As long as they feel like you're going to be blocked and sabotaged, that's what's going to make them happy. But what they don't understand is they're also being lied to. So again, we're going to talk, listen guys, this is a big topic. I said, if I was to do every symptom, this video wouldn't end. Okay. I talk about so much of this stuff in my book, which is actually available now. The hard copy is not available yet. It will be available soon. The ebook is actually available online right now, stephaniepetergaysmith.com. So the ebook is available and I talk about so many things pertaining to this. But in this video, I can only talk about the top symptoms, the top signs of what you feel when someone is doing black magic on you, okay? So let's start off with the first common symptom that most people feel. It's a headache, okay? Headache and migraine. Now, there's different types of headaches. There's different types of migraines, okay? Migraine is more when it lingers and it's more of an annoying type of headache. As in like, if you turn your head to the right, it hurts. If you turn your head to the left, it hurts. If you look up, look down, it hurts. Like a migraine is like a lingering type of headache that does not go away, okay? There's headaches that you get when you wake up in the morning from witchcraft. So you'll know because you'll be sleeping. Your sleep may be uncomfortable. You may feel like something happened in the spirit. And then as soon as you wake up, you notice that your head is throbbing. You almost feel like you have a hangover, but you didn't drink anything. You did not drink the night before. You did not drink 2 days before. You haven't had any drink, but you're waking up feeling like you had a hangover. The room is spinning and your head is throbbing and it feels like you cannot function. The reason why the witchcraft headaches are, you know, one of the most common symptoms is because your spirit is afflicted. And not only that, but sometimes they will deliberately attack you with a headache, as in they want you to have a headache. It's no longer just like a symptom off of like a spell. It's someone is deliberately sending you headaches. And it's because they know that you're the kind of person that if you're sick, you're going to take the day off work. If you're sick, you can't really do much. And of course, this happens with everybody. Like when you're sick, you take the day off work, you don't want to do much, right? However, there are some people that are very strong and no matter how sick they are, they'll go to work. But with a witchcraft headache, black magic headache, it's so hard to focus. You literally feel like you have to lay down all day. And you will notice that once this headache comes in, you want to lay down all day. You will go from making plans with your day, wanting to do certain things, to all of a sudden sleeping all day because of the headache. If you sit up in the bed, your head hurts. If you move too fast, your head hurts. That's witchcraft headaches. Another thing I want to tell you guys is the symptoms that I'm going to explain to you guys. Some of these symptoms can be caused, obviously, from lack of sleep, from not eating, or from certain foods, or can be caused from certain sicknesses. However, how you'll know it's from black magic is you've gotten checkups, you're healthy. You've gone to the doctor about certain things, you're healthy. You don't have any vitamin deficiencies, you're healthy. And this is why I tell you guys all the time, take your vitamins, okay? Get your checkups. And if you know that you're healthy, but this stuff still happening to you, chances are it's black magic, okay? So headaches are number one sign. Migraines are number one sign. And again, they linger. They linger so much. It's more of an annoying feeling versus like, you know, versus like just a headache, take a Tylenol, it's gone. Witchcraft headaches, when you take Advil and Tylenol, they don't go away. They don't go away. So that's how you'll know as well. If you have like a really bad headache that's lingering and you take a Tylenol or Advil, or you drink tea, or you take something that you usually take for headaches and it goes away, and you notice it's not going away this time, that's probably what it is, black magic. Because here's the thing, the witchcraft black magic headaches are from the spirit, and Tylenol and Advil are not gonna help. It may help like reduce it, but it won't take it away. And the sad part about it is that a lot of people that suffer from these witchcraft headaches is they will take Tylenol consistently, and then they'll have problems with their liver. They'll take Advil consistently, and then they'll get a bunch of stomach ulcers. So taking Tylenol and Advil during witchcraft headaches to get rid of it is very dangerous, because you cannot take a certain amount and you can't exceed a certain amount. And if it doesn't go away, obviously it's not going to if it's a black magic headache, unless you pray it away and fast it away, right? But if you're trying to take the Advil and Tylenol and you're like, okay, it's not going away, and you take more and more and more and more, you can cause yourself to have more damage later on, okay? And the thing about it is, because some people don't know it's black magic, they think it's a regular headache, they consistently keep taking the Tylenol and Advil and not realizing they're damaging their internal. And that's another reason why a lot of the black magic practitioners, why they send you headaches, because they know that you'll take Tylenol and Advil consistently, and they want you to cause more damage to your system. So it's all a manipulative tactic to get you to overdose on pain medicine. Another symptom that there's black magic being done to you is nausea. So if you have been pregnant before, you'll notice that the morning sicknesses, it's like you wake up every morning and you feel nauseated, you feel sick. That is exactly how the black magic symptoms of nausea works. Like, you'll wake up in the morning and you'll feel very nauseated. Sometimes it will come in the day and go. One thing about black magic is every time someone is actively doing it to you, that headache will come out of nowhere, that nausea will come out of nowhere, and then once you pray away, fast it away, it will go away. If it comes back again randomly out of nowhere, it means that they're actively doing something again, but then it will vanish again if you're praying and fasting, right? So basically it will come and go and come and go. So it's the same thing with the nausea. You'll feel nauseated all day. You may take Gravel, Pepto, whatever you need to take, but you'll notice that there's a lingering nausea. You feel like you want to throw up. And oftentimes when you feel this way as well, you don't want to get up out of bed. It's almost like you want to rest all day. And you'll notice that this is why God tells us to move in silence, because if there's someone doing black magic on you, they know that when they start to do it, the beginning stages of their work, there's going to be headaches and nausea. And if you're covered, what will happen? It will start fading away after some time, right? But because they know you're covered, right, they have to keep renewing it. So what a person will do is they will wait for you to have a very important thing that you're gonna do, or event you're gonna go to, or a perfect like an important like meeting or something, and they will do it the day of, so you'll get the nausea and headache before it fades away. And you'll notice that that's why when you have important things to do, you'll notice the nausea and the headache comes back. Why is that? Because whoever is doing it is aware that there's something important you need to do, or that there's somewhere important that you have to go. Vomiting is another sign, because vomiting is caused by the nausea, and you will have a very hard time keeping food down if you are vomiting because of black magic, okay? And again, you'll know because there's people that will take things for vomiting and nausea and they'll notice that it's not going away. That's usually black magic. When it's not going away, it's black magic, okay? Vomiting and nausea, all this stuff is meant to keep you sick so you don't have the energy to be ambitious, to go to work. And again, I tell you guys this all the time, like, it's a domino effect. If you don't show up for work, you don't show up to do the most important things that you need to do to take care of yourself in life, things will kind of like have a domino effect, and you may have a hard time paying your bills. You won't catch up with certain things, and that can affect your livelihood. One of the other main signs of black magic is really extreme anxiety, as in like paranoia, feeling like you can't leave your home, having a hard time being in public, being around people, feeling like, you feel so much anxiety, you want to poop. You know, that's how you'll know black magic is involved. Like, you want to go to the bathroom and you want to poop. No matter where you are, you'll feel that urge to poop. And then when you go to the bathroom, nothing's there. Let's keep it real. Nothing's coming out. But you have that urge and you feel like pricklies all over your body, which is most likely voodoo. You literally feel like uncomfortable. Okay, like you feel uncomfortable in your own room, your own house. You feel uncomfortable everywhere you go. No matter what you try to do to be comfortable, you feel uncomfortable. No matter where you sit, where you sleep, you feel uncomfortable. And that is what ultimately causes anxiety. If you go to the grocery store, you have anxiety. You go to the laundromat, you have anxiety. You go to the pharmacy, you have anxiety. You go to the mall, you have anxiety. There's a difference between social anxiety, having social anxiety, versus being uncomfortable even by yourself in your home. That's how you know it's black magic. There's a very uncomfortable feeling of anxiety, and it's very hard to sit still. You can't think straight. Your mind's all over the place. You're pacing back and forth. You have this anxious feeling like you have to go use the bathroom. It's consistent. It's a very harsh anxiety. It's turned up. It's almost like a painful anxiety. Like you feel like your body's hurting anxiety. It's like, again, there's a difference between regular anxiety, social anxiety, and then black magic anxiety. So the black magic anxiety, it's like you'll feel the urge to poop, but there's no gas. There's no gas at all. Like there's no you don't feel gas in your stomach. See, when you normally want to use the bathroom, there's a little bit of gas, or there's like an urge, like that your body's prepping you to go. Like, you know, your body's prepping you to go and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have to use the bathroom soon. You're prepared for it. Where then the black magic anxiety, there's no prep. As soon as you feel the anxiety, you have to go. That's how you know the difference, okay? And it's like you go to the bathroom and you can't really go. Because why? Your body really doesn't have to poop. It's the anxiety that's making you feel like that, the black magic anxiety that's making you feel like that, right? So that anxiety will make you want to run away from the everybody. It will make you want to run and hide. And even when you hide away in that turtle shell in your home, you feel uncomfortable. Next sign is sharp pains in your stomach. You will have sharp pains in your stomach that feels like stinging pains. It's almost like hunger pains, but you're not hungry. You guys ever felt hunger pains before, where you have this sharp pain in your stomach because you haven't eaten? It feels like that, but you ate. You had your breakfast, you had your lunch, but you have these sharp pains in your stomach. It hurts when you sit up, so you have to go in fetal position and lay down in the bed. And they do this, again, they target you health-wise, so you can't do the things in life. You can't get up and run, you can't go to the gym, you can't go to work, you can't do the important things in life. Instead, you want to just rest and stay home. So imagine someone is targeting someone this way for a very long time, and the person that's being targeted has no idea what's being done, but they just know that they have nausea, they're vomiting, they have sharp pains in their stomach, they have anxiety, and they know that they want to just lay in the bed, and they've been in the bed for a week and now they're getting fired from work. That is what these people want. They want to mess with you so much. You don't have any type of energy to even do the most important things to take care of your basic necessities. This is how a lot of people end up homeless as well, which is a whole nother sequel. We're gonna talk about homelessness in a whole nother sequel, and poverty. Sometimes the sharp stomach pains will turn into like, it feels like something's moving in your stomach. That is a Leviathan spirit. That it feels like a worm or a snake is in your stomach. That means that you need actual deliverance, as in you need deliverance to where you're gonna throw up, because you gotta throw the spirit up. Either you gotta throw it up or poop it out, but most of the times people are throwing up that spirit. So again, yes, vomiting is an important form of deliverance, because that spirit likes to attach itself to the lining of the stomach, and that spirit usually comes out during deliverance through your vomit, and that helps the spirits from attaching itself to your stomach lining is lemons. Lemonade, lemon juice, lemon water, always detox with lemons. Lemons have so much acid that it actually prevents anything from sticking to it. It's very hard to explain. So if you drink a lot of lemon, it will remove a layer of your stomach lining, right? So if there's a spirit attached to that's gonna prevent it from actually staying there, right? People don't know this, but that's why detoxing is very important. So yes, sharp pains in your stomach is another form of black magic. And it's not gonna be just regular stomach pains. It's gonna be the type of sharp pains where you're holding your stomach and you're like, and you feel like you have to lay down. It almost feels like an ulcer, stomach ulcer, but not exactly, not as harsh, but close to that. The sharp pain is similar to that. Another form of black magic is, again, stomach pains, but also bloating. The bloating will be so bad, it will look like you're pregnant. And this is why I said lemon is really good for that. Detoxing with lemon is good for that. Of course, you have to pray and you have to fast to get rid of the attack, to get rid of the spirit that's in your stomach, whether it's Leviathan. But if there's no spirit in your stomach and there's no Leviathan in your stomach, so you may look bloated, right? Pray against it, but also detox. Detoxing will help the inflammation of your stomach area because black magic can cause there to be inflammation and that will make you look pregnant even when you're not pregnant. Another form of black magic is odor that won't go away. Now, there's there's odor from some people like who sweat a lot, or you may go out all day and you may smell a little weird and you're like, okay, I gotta go home and shower. But when it's black magic, it doesn't go away. The odor will still linger and it will be there until you go into a heavy fast. If it's regular odor, you shower, you do whatever you have to do to get rid of it and it will be gone, right? When it's black magic odor, it lingers, it stays, it does not go away unless you fast and pray it away. I've already made a video pertaining to odors caused by black magic. That video is in the playlist. Check that video out if you're battling that currently. But odor is definitely another sign. Another form of black magic is sleep deprivation. This means that you have a hard time sleeping at night and you don't sleep. Every time you want to sleep, you notice there's something waking you up. And it's not anything physical. It's not that you left the TV on. It's not that your house is noisy. No, you will notice that every time you close your eyes, there is someone in the spirit that is trying to keep you up. They're making really harsh clap noises. It sounds like they're banging stuff. You're hearing things like, it sounds like plates are being thrown in the spirit. It sounds like things are breaking. Like you can tell that there's something in the spirit that is purposely trying to keep you up. That is black magic. That means that whoever is doing this to you, they're trying to keep you awake as long as possible, because the spells that they're doing on you will not have any effect on you or it won't work. They need you to be in complete insanity mode. So they do these things in levels, okay? First, if they know you're a strong person and they know that every type of black magic they've done to you doesn't work, they have to get you to a place of insanity in order for it to have a full effect on you. I talked about this in my book and it's too much details to go into, but I will say this, depriving your sleep on purpose and then they do the spells on you will make the spells actually a lot more stronger because you're already in a place of insanity. Have you guys ever felt like what it feels like to not sleep for a long time and you can't think straight, you can't focus, right? Imagine being in that state and then someone sending spirits, someone, you know, affecting your mood or someone doing things to make matters worse. You will kind of go insane, right? So sleep deprivation is one of their number one things, one of their number one tactics, because that is how the other things that they do will have a stronger effect is if they first target your sleep. So what's really more tormenting is when they do the sleep deprivation and a sleeping spell at the same time. That is torture. Okay, so there's two spells. There's sleep deprivation. They keep you from sleeping. So you literally have insomnia and you'll go 4 or 5 days without sleeping. Your eyes will be extremely red. You'll be in like zombie mode. And then there's another spell. It's called the Sleeping Beauty fatigue spell. And it's almost like where no matter how much you sleep, you feel tired still. So there's two separate types. No matter how much you sleep, you feel tired. You could sleep all night, 12 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours. The next day, you're extremely drained, you're extremely tired. That's usually black magic. So what they will do that is extremely evil is they will mix it. They'll do the sleep deprivation. They will keep you up for like 4 days. And then they'll also do the Sleeping Beauty spell on you to make you like fall asleep. And every time you fall asleep, they're waking you up and they're tormenting you that way. That will make you go mentally insane, right? When they mix these two together. So when they're targeting your hair, like when they're targeting your beauty, you'll notice that the hair that you're losing is more than you would averagely lose. You'll notice that the acne that you're getting is under the skin breakouts. These are like pimples that is very hard to pop, very hard to get rid of. It looks like cyst acne. And you'll know it's black magic because you've never suffered from this before. These are going to be like new things that are happening to you. You'll notice that you'll go from being someone that is completely fit or someone that works out a lot to all of a sudden you're gaining all this weight and you don't know where it's coming from. Your face is sagging, your skin is sagging. You'll notice that everything about your physical appearance is going downhill. And again, these are usually the people that target the way you look and target your beauty because they're jealous of your attractiveness, or they don't want you to attract that partner that they may see that you're going to marry, or they don't want you to attract that partner that they want, etc. Right? So they will attack your physical appearance. You'll definitely see deterioration in your physical appearance. Okay. Another thing is you'll notice you're gaining a lot of weight and you're not even eating a lot. You're noticing that you're either gaining so much, it's like the spirit of obesity. You're gaining so much weight, you're not eating a lot. You're like, where is this weight coming from? I eat once a day or only had a salad today and I'm gaining weight off of that salad. How is that possible? It's mainly water. Like, you'll notice that you're gaining a lot of weight without eating a lot. And then you'll also, for those who are battling the spirit of gluttony, you'll notice that you're craving a lot of food, but you're craving food that you don't usually crave, and you're eating a lot of food and you're not usually the kind of person that eats a lot. So that's how you'll know that there is some sort of influence spiritually going on that's messing with your abilities, the way you eat, the way you present yourself, etc. Usually it's someone that is trying to target your physical appearance. Another sign of black magic is you'll notice that you have a hard time swallowing food. So you'll notice that you may be the kind of person that you've never had this issue before. All of a sudden you have a very hard time swallowing food. It's like when someone's doing black magic to target you, it's like your whole mouth is dry, you're dehydrated, because that's one of the symptoms is dehydration, right? So when you try to eat something, it's almost like you choke on the food because you have a hard time swallowing it, you're choking on it. So you may drink some water, and even when you drink water, you're still choking on the food. That is a form of black magic. This spell that they're doing is trying to starve you to death. You'll notice that there's some people that they're extremely very malnourished because they're not eating, and even though they're hungry, they have a hard time eating. They can't eat because every time they try to eat, they can't swallow or they can't keep the food down. They go to the doctor says, oh, you're just dehydrated, drink water, you're okay, you're healthy, just drink some water. And then they drink water, and then as soon as they go home, they can't eat. In this case, the best things to do is to eat smoothies, drink smoothies, porridges, and all that stuff. You do have this issue. You'll notice that when they're doing a spell to starve you, malnourish you, you'll notice it's to drain your energy, but you'll also notice that you're losing weight rapidly, and it's not healthy weight loss. You're noticing that the weight that you're losing is almost like skin and bones, okay? I always tell people, if you're noticing the black magic they're doing on you is to get you to lose weight, to get you to not eat, take this opportunity and use that as a way to go into a fast to break this. And once it's broken, then you can start eating healthy and good full meals to gain back your weight, healthy weight, okay? One of the hardest symptoms of black magic that I've ever experienced, this was one of the most painful and moments I don't even want to ever relive in my entire life, but suffocation. Basically, the airways of your throat to your lungs, it closes in on you. And when you tell doctors this, or you try to explain this to people, they'll say you're healthy. They'll take your pulse and be like, your heart rate is good, your pulse rate is good, there's nothing wrong with you. But you will feel like you can't breathe. You know you can't breathe because your chest is tightening. It feels like there's a spirit suffocating you. That is a spirit that they sent that is meant to squeeze your chest, meant to like choke you, meant to suffocate you. And that's their way of trying to harm you, right? But you can't explain that to everyone because they're not going to believe you. So this is something that you have to fast and you have to pray away. When this happens, you have to go into extreme warfare prayers to pray this away, because that means that in the moment of suffocation, there's a spirit there that's trying to block your airway from breathing, and they're trying to suffocate you. This is one of their favorite spells to use when you're sleeping. Okay, this is why you hear about so many people who pass away in their sleep, and when they go in for autopsy, they say the cause of death is natural causes. They passed away in their sleep. Not all the time. Sometimes it's a spirit that suffocated them. They were unable to breathe in their sleep, and then they suffocated to death, right?
Hi guys, I'm recording this update. Today is August 4th. I think it's August 4th. Yeah, it's August 4th, my time. So in Canada, it's August 4th, 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Where I am, it's August 4th, 1:34 p.m. So the last update was the update I told you guys pertaining to like, you know, them confronting her and finding the private investigator finding out that 3 more women were involved. So I haven't recorded anything, which is I've just been with the kids on vacation, and we're actually gonna go home today because they have school, but something happened. So for the last 3 days I started to feel like this panic attack, like the same feeling I felt in 2016. I started to feel it come back, and I didn't really think it was an attack. I really did not, because I wasn't thinking like my mom would still be at it. I thought like, okay, she probably calmed down, so I don't think it's an attack. It might be something else. So I didn't really think anything of it. Then the Lord showed me 2 days, and I wasn't sure why he said 2 days. So I thought it was pertaining to something else. To find out, the 2 days meant like they were going to start another attack in 2 days. So last night, roughly around like in the evening, around like 7 o'clock actually, my chest started getting tight. Okay, and I knew it was an attack, but I tried to like play it off. My throat airway was starting to close in on me. And I know this because this happened to me in 2016, so I know the symptoms. Also, I just released my ebook, I think like 2 weeks ago. So I talked about a lot of what I went through in 2016 in my ebook, and I know for sure that my family probably read it, or some of my family members read it. So that could be them retaliating. Anyways, so going back to yesterday now evening, I was feeling extremely sick. Later in the night, I started to lose breath, and I felt like my airway was closing in on me, and I knew that was an attack. I got on my knees, I prayed, started panicking. Even the kids were like panicking, praying. I kept going back and forth to the bathroom, because you guys know like when witchcraft attacks are heavy, you get so much anxiety, it's like you have to poop. So I finally fell asleep roughly around like 2 o'clock, thank God, a.m., right? And then I heard the Lord say, your family. And he started showing me again, like my mom and other family members now involved in doing this. So someone's here with the food. You want to go get the food? Mm-hmm. Go get the food. So you know, after I saw that, I prayed again and stuff like that. Woke up around like 3 o'clock, and it was getting worse. So I had to go to the hospital. Went to the hospital, and they gave me something to clear the airway, my throat. Sorry, the food came for my kids. So I'll bring this down. Oh no. So when they gave me something to close, like not to close, sorry, to open up my airway, because it was closing and my throat was sore, except they couldn't find a sore throat. So they're looking at my throat and they're like, your throat looks fine. But I know it's spiritual, obviously, because of the witchcraft. So they gave me the stuff. They gave me the IV, like not really an IV. It's more like they gave me the medication through my veins to like help with my throat. And to help reduce also any acid that may pile up, because you guys know when they do witchcraft on you, your chest feels like heavy heartburn, your chest starts to bubble, it feels acidy, a lot of heartburn, and then on top of that the airway is closing. So they gave me something to reduce like all the acid. You can eat, don't worry. He's trying not to make noise. So they gave me something to reduce all the acid from the chest burns, but they were like, there's no sore throat, but my throat's really sore. So
they knew it was spiritual too. Like, it's like we all knew it was spiritual. Um, they gave me the stuff that I needed, and so I left, came back to the hotel. The hotel was nice enough to extend our room until like closer to my flight, so we're not sitting in the airport, so I can rest here and there. But when I came back, like, I was fighting like my sleep, like trying to sleep and stuff, and I heard the Holy Spirit, and he was confirming to me like, yes, it's my family again. And then it's okay, don't worry about it. And then so yeah, I woke up, I was feeling a little bit better, like, oh my gosh, I feel better. Like, start cleaning up the room a little bit, like, okay, we're gonna get packed, let's order some food. And then it started to come back. So that's how I know it's witchcraft, because it comes in waves. Like, you'll start feeling a little bit better, and then it comes back, and then you know, like, someone's chanting again or doing whatever they're doing. So I'm just giving you this update because at this point I'm just really frustrated. I reached out to the private investigator and I told him what's going on. He was basically like, try to pray and like try not to panic too much, and basically saying like, everyone that she's already paid in Jamaica, they're currently in jail. All of them are in jail. But I'm trying to tell him, like, it's probably someone in Canada, like she paid the Indian man, right? So it's probably someone else she's using, because all her resources in Jamaica, they're in jail, unless she found someone else to pay for her. I was asking God, like, to not let it affect me when I'm on a plane, just like, I'm doing okay now, but it comes in waves, it comes and goes. Like, it'll come and be really heavy. I'll feel like I'm losing my breath, I'll feel like really sick, and then it will leave, you know what I mean, and be gone. I feel normal, and then it comes back. This is really annoying. Those that go through this will understand. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys an update. Thank you.
And sometimes also they will burn evil incense, and the evil incense they burn, they do this during your sleep. It's meant to choke you. So when they burn the evil incense during your sleep, that's when you'll wake up, and you'll notice that when you wake up out of your sleep, you're coughing nonstop. And the way you're coughing, it's like, it feels like there's smoke in the room. You guys ever experience that, where you're coughing in your sleep, but you're coughing in your sleep so much, you wake yourself up and you're coughing while you're awake, right? It's because they're burning an evil incense, and you can actually smell the evil incense being burnt. Like, it smells like there's a fire in the house, but there's no fire, right? They do this to choke you and to suffocate you. So the choking tactic is from the evil incense, and the suffocation is when they send a spirit to tighten your chest, tighten your airways, so you cannot breathe. Feel restlessness, as in, like, no matter how much you try to sleep, you can't sleep. So this is a mixture of sleep deprivation, but this is also when there's too much energy. It's almost like you can't sit still. You don't know where this charge of energy came from. But there's the difference between healthy energy that's motivating you to get stuff done, and so much energy mixed with anxiety, not being able to sit still, not being able to sleep. You're feeling like you're being tormented. That is black magic. They do that to tire you out, but then sleep deprive you so you cannot get sleep. So restlessness and too much energy. Like, basically, it feels like you drank like 3 Red Bulls, right? And your heart is beating fast. You feel like you're gonna die because there's so much energy. You can't handle it. There's a difference, again, between healthy energy and then forced energy, right? And that is what I mean when I say, like, for those that drink like energy drinks, it's like when you drink an energy drink and you regret drinking it because your heart's moving fast and you feel like you're panicking, you feel like you're gonna die. That's how black magic feels when they send you a restless spirit and you cannot stop moving, and you're tired but you can't stop moving, and it's almost like you drink 3 energy drinks. So it's 10 times worse than an energy drink, but it's that same concept. When you start hearing a lot of demonic voices at night or in the daytime, and they're trying to whisper things in your ear. Again, there's a difference between, this is why the gift of distinguishing between spirits is so important, but they send these demonic spirits to whisper in your ear to torment you because they're trying to get you to do things to hurt yourself. They want you to be so tormented that you say to yourself, I can't do this, I can't handle this is too much. or they want you to speak up and say what you're hearing, to end up in a psych ward, to end up in a crazy hospital, to end up medicated. So they will send these spirits to whisper in your ear in order to get you to talk about it, in order to get you to unalive yourself, in order to get you to go mentally insane. Okay. Another thing they do is they'll send the spirits to scream in your ears while you're sleeping at night, to wake you up, to mess with your sleep, to torment you. And I talked about this already with the sleep deprivation. This all connects with that. Yeah, so they try to combine this all together with the spirits, and these are the requests that they give the spirits. The practitioners, the black magic practitioners, will tell the spirits exactly what they want to torment you with. So they'll tell the spirits what to say to you, what to bring up, and things like that. These are the commands that they give the spirits, right? So late at night, you'll hear them tormenting you. On top of the spirits tormenting you, the spell practitioner is doing all the other stuff, like the sleep deprivation, the restlessness, the spirit of suicide, like sending all these other spirits to torment you as well, right? So it's a combination of things, tormenting visions, tormenting dreams as well, ringing in the ears. Also, another sign that you'll see is black orbs. You know how sometimes we'll see white orbs and we're like, oh, nice, black orbs, seeing black dots in the ceilings, black dots in your room, black dots just randomly out of nowhere, like just popping up and disappearing. That is a huge sign of black magic. But the black orbs that you're seeing, that's an indication that whoever's doing the black magic, they have sent spirits to torment you and monitor you. It means when you see the black orbs, it means there's spirits that were sent and they're around you. So you instantly have to rebuke it, the black orb you're seeing. You have to rebuke who is sending it, or rebuke whoever is sending it, because you may not know exactly who. Just say, God, whoever is doing this, I rebuke it. But you also have to rebuke any monitoring spirits that were sent to torment you, rebuke any spirits that were sent to whisper things in your ear, etc. Okay? This is all done to drive you insane, to get you into a mental hospital, or to get you on medication. So when you have tormenting visions and tormenting dreams, that's also how you'll know black magic is being done. But another way how you know black magic is being done to you is you'll have dreams about graveyards. You'll have dreams about car accidents. You'll have dreams about being raped, dreams about snakes. You'll have dreams about spiders, okay? And these dreams are to let you know that there is demonic activity that's being done, okay? Again, going back to the energy, you'll feel extremely drained and you feel like you have no energy to do anything. It's gonna feel like something is keeping your energy locked. It feels like you feel like you're in a prison and you feel like you can't do anything. You have no energy to do anything. Walking down the stairs feels like a hassle. Taking the clothes out the washer, putting it in the dryer feels heavy. That's black magic. It's when you feel like a sloth. There you go. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Sloth animal activity, as in like you're dragging your feet to do everything, including the basic necessities, the basic things of life that you're supposed to do. You're dragging your feet to do it. So you move like a sloth. You feel like a sloth animal. And people may mistake that as you being lazy and not ambitious, but it's actually black magic. Whoever's doing it is doing it to drain you, and they're mixing it with a fatigue spell. They're mixing it with suicide, depression. They're mixing these spells together. These are called layered spells, layered curses, when they mix more than one spell together to get an effect out of you or to get multiple effects out of you, right? They're called layered curses. So yes, they will drain your energy to get you to lose out on things in life, to get you to waste your time away, miss out on opportunities, etc. Their sign of black magic is memory fog, memory loss. It feels like your brain is fogged. You can't remember anything. If someone says, hey, what's your birthday? You have a hard time remembering the month, the day. If somebody says, hey, what do you like to do? Like basically it's going to be very hard for you to answer simple questions. I had this issue when they did black magic to me, and I have the hospital reports, right? And one of their favorite tactics is fogging your mind. It's like almost like you're aware, but you're out of it. So when people ask you very basic questions, you take very long to respond, and your response may not even sound, normal. It's almost like your response sounds like you don't even know what you're saying, because something is controlling like your ability to speak, your ability to be aware. And even though you're aware, your ability to make sense, there you go, your ability to make sense. So in your mind, you know what you want to say, but you can't speak it. So yes, there's another form of black magic is when a spirit is holding your tongue and you're unable to speak, or you're unable to describe or clarification as to what you're trying to discuss and what you're trying to say, because there's something that's fogging your mind, so you can't really get the words out, right? You can't really think straight. Okay, so brain fog is another form of black magic. Financial loss. Either you're not able to get finances, gain finances, get a job, elevate yourself, or you're noticing that you have a problem saving money. Every time money comes in, you have holes in your hands and you lose it. So there's two ways it can go. Someone's either doing a spell to block you from receiving money, or if you're making income and you have a job, someone's blocking your ability to save, to be able to use the income to the things that are most important. Again, layered curses and spells. Sometimes they'll mix both. So they will try to get you to spend as much as possible, to spend what you have saved, while blocking you from receiving any more finances. And that is how they try to get people homeless. Because if they see, okay, this person's successful, they're making good income, but I don't want them to continue being stable, they will try to get you to spend as much as you'll feel like this addiction to just buy. And you're like, wait, I've never had this issue before, but for some reason, I feel like I have this addiction to buy. That's how you know that something is being done. Again, when these spell practitioners do these spells, they have to be very specific on what they want to affect you. They will write down what they want to happen to you and they will put it in their work. Okay, so sometimes they'll mix it with financial loss and financial spending and get you to spend what you have saved, and then you won't have anything coming in to make up for what you're spending, right? And they do this to trick you out of prosperity, to trick you into homelessness. And before you know it, you're like, man, I spent all my money and I have nothing coming in to make up for what I've spent, right? So this is a form of black magic. Okay, another form of black magic, again, like talking about financial spending and financial blockages, is another form of black magic. Is you'll notice that no matter what, they're trying to keep you in poverty. They're trying to keep you homeless. Like no matter what, everywhere you go, you have a problem with someone. Anyone that takes you in their home, they don't want you there. Like it's very hard to get back on your feet. That's a sign of black magic. Okay. Another sign of black magic is your electronics. Anything that you need for work to become successful, whether it's your computer, whether it's your camera, whether it's your cell phone, they will mess with your electronics. Now, there's a certain spirit that they use that messes with electronics and that messes with the maintenance of your home. Okay? They do this because they try to create additional costs of things that are going to be very costly. For instance, if something's wrong with your car, to fix that is going to cost a lot of money. Something's wrong with your computer, you have to buy a new one to work, or you have to fix it to work, so that's going to cost a lot of money. Something's wrong with your phone, you need your phone, you may have to get a whole new one, that's going to cost some money. So they send the spirit to affect the things that they know that you need, to mess with your mind, to mess with your mood, mess with your emotions, to mess with your money, and even the things in the home. Like, as I recorded everything, you're gonna see how they messed with the gas in my home, they messed with the water pipes, they also messed with someone that's helping me, they messed with his car. Like, I recorded all of that, but this is what one of the spell practitioners did to mess with the things that I do in my basic day-to-day life to affect me from being able to do these things, right? So yes, they will mess with your electronics, and they will mess with like your washer, your dryer, your fridge. They'll make sure the spirits mess with your fridge so you lose all your food, your fridge won't work, all your food goes to waste. They will make sure the stove, the dishwasher doesn't work. They'll make sure they mess with your heater, so your house will be cold in the wintertime. They'll mess with your water so you have no hot water, and you have to boil your water until someone repairs it. So they do all these things to cause you an inconvenience, to mess with your schedule, mess with your life, emotions, everything. And then on top of messing with your electronics, they'll mess with your health. It's like, a combination of things that they do in order to make your life go downhill. Okay. Another thing that they will do is create addictions. They will try to get you to drink a lot. They'll try to get you to smoke a lot. Again, we are responsible for our own actions, but these spell practitioners, trust me, they will put things in their work, pertaining to what they want you to be addicted to. And then once they put it in the work, you'll notice that your spirit, your mind is craving whatever it is they're trying to get you to be addicted to. You may not be an alcoholic. You may be someone that doesn't drink a lot, but you're noticing, why are you craving tequila so badly and you don't even like it? So you go and take a drink, and before you know it, you're drinking the bottle. Before you know it, that bottle turns to 2 bottles. Before you know it, you're sick of alcohol poisoning, or you end up drinking every day now, right? So that's with any type of addiction. It could be porn. They do the same thing with porn. They do the same thing with spending. They do the same thing with food, spirit of gluttony. So they will also use addictions in their work. So yes, another form of black magic is you're noticing that you're obsessively addicted to something that you don't normally obsess over, or you're not normally addicted to. People are hitting you car-wise. You're getting into car accidents all the time, but you're a safe driver. So you'll notice that people are hitting you, right? Or things are coming out of nowhere. So yes, frequent car accidents is definitely from a black magic. That also means that that's one of their tactics to try to kill you. But if you're covered, you'll notice that you'll get into the accident, but you won't die. Like, you'll always be okay. But then you'll know that something's wrong. This is why you have to anoint your car, anoint your home, anoint everything pertaining to the things that I spoke to you about. Form of black magic is relationship problems. You'll notice that you're going through the same type of repetitive patterns when it comes to relationships, repetitive cycles, and you'll even reflect on your family history and see that not only are you falling into these repetitive cycles, but other family members are. But you'll also notice that if it's not a generational thing, if it's just you, it means that it's not something that's generational. If you're noticing your family's not falling to these cycles, but it's just you, then it means that someone specifically targeted you in this area, and it's not generational. Okay, so relationship problems, consistent repetitive cycles of the same type of partners, people, etc., and relationships not working out. Another form of black magic is being done is you will, again, like seeing the orbs, you will start seeing spirits as well. And seeing spirits is a gift. To be able to see spirits in a physical is a gift. But again, you'll know it's black magic if you see dark spirits. You know that someone sent it because you can see it. Similar to how I saw the Reaper, I knew that someone sent it. So after experiencing that and seeing the spirit, now that I have the wisdom, I know exactly what type of spell they were doing. I know that whatever they did, they combined sending spirits to whisper in my ear. They combined the paranoia. They combined the anxiety, they combined the headaches and the nausea, they combined the sleep deprivation, they combined that with the sleeping beauty, they combined that with the tightening of the chest. If you guys read my book, you'll see that I explain all these symptoms I was feeling at the same time. So not only did they combine all this together, but they also sent the Reaper spirit, right, in order for me to commit suicide. So again, at the time I didn't know all this, but now that I know and I have the wisdom, I saw that while they were doing all these things to me, that was their choice of spirit to send to me as well, to collect my soul if I had done that. Another form of black magic is rejection back to back. It will happen consistently. It will be from multiple people. You will notice that no matter where you go, you're being rejected. People are disliking you, and there's persecution, etc. And this is because there's a spell that they did to make people see you in a negative light. And this is also a form of a humiliation ritual, which I've already done a video about. It's probably already up, right? So you guys probably already saw that video, but that is a form of black magic, humiliation ritual, and back-to-back rejection. Okay, so again, you guys will know because this is something that is spoken about in that humiliation ritual video. So yes, another form of black magic is back-to-back isolation, fear, paranoia, and feeling like something is being done, feeling like you can't even be, again, I talked about it in the beginning, not being comfortable, but fear and paranoia. Okay, heavy paranoia, that goes with anxiety, but that's a symptom alone on its own, because you can have anxiety but not have fear, right? So the paranoia is the fear aspect of the anxiety that's being sent. Form of black magic is abnormal flies in your home. You may not have any garbage, your house may be clean, but for some reason there's flies everywhere. These could be monitoring spirit, but that's an indication there's black magic being done as well. Is abnormal flies, not the normal summertime 1 or 2 flies here and there. I'm talking about the abnormal flies. Like you don't know where they came from. They're all on your door. They're all on your mirror. And you're like, where are these flies coming from? That is another form of black magic, okay? One of the number one signs that you're heavily afflicted is enlarged pupils. People like to call this, hospitals like to call this, doctors like to call this an episode and psychosis, but it's not psychosis. The enlarged pupils are a sign that you're under heavy attack. Also, the enlarged pupils are a sign that the veil has been removed and you're able to see in the spirit. That's why anyone that has enlarged pupils that are going through an attack, they're constantly saying, oh my gosh, I'm seeing this spirit, I'm seeing that spirit. They're seeing things that not everyone is seeing, but they're being labeled as psychotic. They're being labeled as crazy, mentally ill, but it's actually the veil being removed. That's why the pupils are enlarged. And that's why they're able to see in the spirit. Your pupils are like a lens to a camera. You notice that I'm recording a video on my camera right now, if I was to move closer to my camera, the lens are going to become more enlarged. I can literally see the lens growing and getting bigger as I go closer to the camera. But as I pull away, the lens gets smaller. That is how our natural eyes are. That is how our pupils are. When we get closer to things, our pupils get larger. When we move further back, it gets smaller. When the lights are on, our pupils may get smaller. When the lights are closed and dim, our pupils get bigger, right? When there is black magic being done and the veil has been removed off of someone's eyes and they're able to see in the spirit, their pupils will become so enlarged and it will stay enlarged. It won't get smaller or bigger. It will stay big and it will just stay that size. It will be so big, it almost covers the iris part of their eye. And what is the iris part of the eye? The iris part of the eye is like the color part of your eye, whether your eye color is blue, brown, hazel. That is the iris part. So the pupil is black and the pupil will be so enlarged, it almost covers the full iris part of the eye. Okay, so every time you see someone with large pupils, like really large enlarged pupils, and they're kind of like talking about spirits and they look like they're going insane, they look like they're crazy, they're not crazy, they're not having an episode, they're under attack. But not only are they under attack, but the veil has been removed, so they're able to see in the spirit. And because they're not knowledgeable, they're going to panic about the things that they're seeing, okay? The last sign I'm going to give you guys today before I go is the numbing of your emotions. There is a black magic they do where you cannot cry, you cannot get upset, you can't yell, you can't scream, you're just numb, zombie-like. This is also in my hospital report. You'll see that they wrote that I have no emotions, no sadness, no tears, no anger, no nothing. I'm just numb and I'm not aware. That's what they said, but this was the black magic numbing my emotions. I was not able to cry. It felt like I was being suppressed. There's a song by an artist. She talks about this. She says that she's in the lyrics, she says she's trying to cry, but tears won't come out. She said that when she stares at a mirror, it seems like there's something on the other side laughing at her and her emotions and everything are suppressed, right? That is what it feels like to be afflicted with black magic and you have no emotions, okay? So that is the last symptom sign I'm gonna give you. There's so much signs, as I told you guys before, there's a lot, but if I stayed here and did everything, it would take all day. So I'm going to leave you guys with this for now. Of course, my ebook is already out. It has everything already written in it. The hard copy will be available soon. Everything is written in it. I also talk about how to get through all of this, okay? But in this video with these signs, the best thing to do is faith, prayer, and fasting. These are the main 3 steps of how to break any black magic affliction, okay? Prayer, faith, and fasting, okay? Keep yourself in the book of Psalms, reading the book of Psalms. Keep praying Psalms 91 over your home, Psalms 23 over your home. Keep praying, keep fasting, and you'll be good to go, okay? I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next sequel. Bye.